The Lost Daughter. Chapter 1: The Vanishing. In the peaceful town of Eldoria, nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, life moved at a steady, predictable pace. Children played in the fields, merchants bartered in the bustling market square, and the townsfolk greeted each other with warm smiles and hearty handshakes. Among them was the Connors family, known for their kindness and generosity. Elizabeth and Henry Connors had two daughters, Emily and Sarah. Emily, the eldest, was poised and responsible, while Sarah, at 12, was full of curiosity and mischief. One warm summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over Eldoria, the Connors family gathered for dinner. Laughter filled their home, mingling with the savory aroma of roasted chicken and fresh-baked bread. After dinner, Sarah, eager to explore the woods behind their house, pleaded with her parents to let her go for a short walk. "Just a little while, Mama. I promise I'll be back before it gets too dark," Sarah insisted, her green eyes sparkling with excitement. Elizabeth sighed but relented, knowing her daughter's adventurous spirit all too well. "All right, Sarah, but don't stray too far. And be back before dark, understand?" "Yes, Mama," Sarah exclaimed, grabbing her lantern and darting out the door. As the last light of day faded, Sarah wandered deeper into the woods, her lantern casting a soft, flickering glow. She marveled at the towering trees and the sounds of nature surrounding her. Time seemed to slip away, and before she knew it, the forest was cloaked in darkness. Realizing she had ventured too far, Sarah turned to retrace her steps, but found the path unfamiliar. Panic began to set in as shadows danced around her, and the once comforting sounds of the forest now seemed eerie and foreboding. She called out, hoping to hear a familiar voice, but her cries were met with silence. Back at the Connors' home, worry gnawed at Elizabeth and Henry as they waited for Sarah's return. When the darkness settled in without any sign of their daughter, their concern turned to fear. Grabbing lanterns, they and a group of townsfolk set out into the forest, calling Sarah's name and scouring the woods for any trace of her. Hours turned into days, and days into weeks, but there was no sign of Sarah. The town mourned the loss, offering their support and condolences to the devastated Connors family. But hope, though faint, still flickered in Elizabeth's heart. She refused to believe that her daughter was gone forever. Chapter 2: The Enchanted Forest. Unbeknownst to the townsfolk, Sarah had wandered into a part of the forest that few knew existed. This hidden realm was a place of enchantment, protected by ancient magic. The trees were taller, their leaves shimmering with a faint, ethereal glow, and the air was filled with a soft, melodic hum. Sarah awoke in a clearing, surrounded by unfamiliar yet beautiful flora. Confused and frightened, she called out again, but her voice seemed to be absorbed by the forest. As she ventured further, she encountered creatures she had only heard of in fairy tales, talking animals, fairies with delicate wings, and even a wise old owl named Oliver who perched on a low branch. "Hello, young one," Oliver hooted gently. "You seem lost." "Yes," Sarah replied, wiping tears from her eyes. "I don't know how I got here or how to get back home." Oliver flapped his wings thoughtfully. "You have stumbled into the enchanted forest. It's a place where few humans tread. But do not fear, for we will help you find your way." With Oliver's guidance, Sarah began to navigate the magical forest. She learned that the forest was not just a place of wonder but also one of trials. To find her way home, she needed to pass 3 challenges set by the forest's guardian, an ancient spirit named Alara. Chapter 3: The First Challenge. The first challenge awaited Sarah at the edge of a crystal-clear lake. As she approached, the waters began to ripple, and from the depths emerged a water nymph named Neria. "Welcome, Sarah," Neria greeted, her voice like the gentle flow of a stream. "To pass this challenge, you must retrieve a pearl from the lake's bottom. But beware, the waters are enchanted, and only those with a pure heart can succeed. Sarah nodded, determined to prove herself. She took a deep breath and waded into the cool water. As she swam deeper, the water seemed to grow thicker, resisting her movements. She recalled her mother's words about bravery and perseverance and pushed forward, her heart pounding. At the lake's bottom, she saw the pearl nestled in a bed of soft sand. Just as she reached for it, shadowy figures began to swirl around her, whispering doubts and fears. Sarah closed her eyes, focusing on the love and hope that guided her. With a final surge of determination, she grasped the pearl and swam to the surface. Neria smiled warmly as Sarah emerged, holding the pearl aloft. You have passed the first challenge. Your heart is indeed pure. Continue on your journey, and may courage guide you. Chapter 4, The Second Challenge. With the pearl in hand, Sarah ventured deeper into the forest, guided by Oliver. Her next destination was a grove of ancient trees, their branches intertwined to form a dense canopy. At the center of the grove stood an enormous oak tree, its bark covered in intricate carvings. As Sarah approached, the carvings began to glow, and the tree spoke in a deep, resonant voice. I am the guardian of the grove. To pass this challenge, you must solve the riddle of the trees. The riddle echoed through the grove. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? Sarah pondered the riddle, her brow furrowed in concentration. She thought of the sounds she had heard in the forest, the rustling of leaves, the whisper of the wind. Suddenly, the answer dawned on her. An echo, she whispered. The carvings on the oak tree glowed brighter, and the tree's voice boomed with approval. You are wise beyond your years, Sarah. You have passed the second challenge. Continue your journey, and may wisdom guide you. Chapter 5, The Final Challenge. The final challenge awaited Sarah at the heart of the enchanted forest, where the air was thick with magic. She arrived at a clearing where a beautiful, shimmering barrier blocked her path. On the other side, she could see a portal that seemed to lead back to her world. Alara, the forest's guardian spirit, appeared before her, a figure of radiant light and grace. Sarah, to pass this final challenge, you must confront your deepest fear. Sarah's heart raced. She had faced many fears since becoming lost in the forest, but her deepest fear had always been the possibility of never seeing her family again. Tears welled in her eyes as she thought of her parents and sister, wondering if they had given up hope. Alara's voice was gentle but firm. Look into the barrier, and you will see your fear. Sarah stepped closer, and the barrier transformed into a mirror, reflecting her family's faces, etched with sorrow and longing. She saw her mother's tear-streaked cheeks, her father's stoic yet pained expression, and her sister's forlorn gaze. Overwhelmed, Sarah fell to her knees, sobbing. I'm so sorry, she whispered, her voice cracking with emotion. I never meant to cause you pain. Alara's light enveloped Sarah, filling her with warmth and comfort. Your love for your family is your strength, Sarah. Embrace it, and let it guide you. With renewed determination, Sarah rose to her feet. She touched the mirror, her fingers tingling with energy. I love you all, she said, her voice steady and strong. And I will find my way back to you. The barrier shimmered and dissolved, revealing the portal. Alara smiled, her form glowing with pride. You have passed the final challenge. Go, Sarah, and may love guide you home. Chapter 6, The Return. With a grateful heart, Sarah stepped through the portal. She emerged in the forest, near her home, the familiar trees and sounds a welcome sight. As she made her way back to Eldoria, she heard voices calling her name. Sarah. Sarah. Her mother's voice rang out, filled with hope and desperation. Mama. Sarah cried, running toward the sound. She burst into the clearing, and her family rushed to meet her. Elizabeth enveloped her in a tight embrace, tears streaming down her face. Henry and Emily joined in, their relief palpable. "My sweet girl, we never gave up on you," Elizabeth whispered, holding Sarah close. "I'm so sorry, Mama," Sarah sobbed. "I got lost, but I found my way back." The townsfolk gathered around, their faces alight with joy and wonder. News of Sarah's return spread quickly, and Eldoria celebrated the miracle. Epilogue. Sarah's journey through the enchanted forest became a tale of legend in Eldoria. She shared her story with anyone who would listen, emphasizing the importance of courage, wisdom, and love. The Connors family, once again whole, cherished every moment together, grateful for the miracle that had brought their lost daughter back to them. And in the depths of the enchanted forest, the guardian spirit Elara watched over the realm, knowing that Sarah's journey had strengthened the bond between the human world and the magical one. The forest's magic thrived, a testament to the enduring power of love and the unbreakable spirit of a young girl who had found her way home.